Hey folks, how are you? Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Nerd Cave Show. We've missed you. It's been a week. It's been 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
We're glad we're here,
Yes,
and we're not there anymore. Because but I am going to turn it over to AudioCraZ here in a second. Thank you all for joining us. We've got Amanda and Mandy with us.
What's
and
up?
Yes, hey, thank
Good
you
evening.
all for joining us. We love you. Hey.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another wonderful, questionable. All right, I'm gonna drink now because I've got no more to go after that.
It's always questionable.
We're gonna bring the tone up a little bit. We're sorry, just a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, and you guys missed it. I just chucked my phone. I'm not gonna lie, I chucked my phone.
It was an interesting experience.
He's sitting there like that, and all of a sudden I'm yelling at a company, and I threw my phone. And yeah, so good evening, everybody. I'm glad you can join us.
Hey, sometimes you just got to throw things. So
Oh,
I
yeah,
support
yeah.
it fully.
Oh man, so it's. I hope everybody's safe. I hope everybody's happy. I hope everybody's doing great. I am glad everybody came to join us tonight. We've got a lot to talk about. I actually kind of packed this. Normally, I don't try to pack this much in, but we were off. Like last week, unfortunately there was no power. And what I found out was, if those guys are curious, I came home last week and I had no power in the house. Literally, the power came back like 2 minutes before 7. And I'm like, there's not enough time to scramble to get everything together. So, but from what I could find out, the ice plant down a ways,
Yeah, down on Union.
caught fire. That's what somebody told me that.
Something like that. There looks like there's some fire damage to
Yeah,
to
and
something
unfortunately,
happening
when
with
a place like that pulls that much electricity catches fire, PG&E has to get involved, and they're pulling enough off an entire grid that I'm pretty sure they had to shut a grid area down and go down and disconnect them or get it assess whatever. And so we were down. My house was without power for several hours. So that was fun. And so I enjoyed a nice, relaxing evening of doing social media nothingness. That's the best way to put it.
We've had those days, haven't we, folks? I mean, really.
Yeah.
So we got a couple. Amanda said, "Hey guys, just woke up from a nap after giving blood. Got my computer and dinner together, and here I am. Good to be here. We are glad to have you here."
Woot.
And yeah, she's had a month too. So yeah, it's like that.
Yeah, it's a lot going on, and I know we're getting antsy, we're getting crazy, and it's just that kind of time. So, my best advice, people, do what you can to keep busy, but also please keep safe.
Absolutely, stay
I
safe.
don't wish anybody to get hurt by the current pandemic. I don't wish anybody to get hurt by trying to do anything that might be foolish. I mean, I'm going to do something foolish. I mean, that's a given. But
I always do foolish things.
yeah, so
I make no promises.
I really want everybody to stay safe. So I'll leave it at that. I wanted to touch on something. I don't know if anybody of you guys read it, but I wrote my first article in a long time, and it was kind of an open letter to ID Software, and it kind of applies to other companies, but ID Software is. To kind of elaborate why I targeted ID Software is because, one, it's a company that has been a part of my gaming life since the very beginning. Even when Bethesda bought them, I didn't wish them any ill. When other companies started working on some of the projects, I didn't like it. John Carmack left. That's fine. But I still think that they deviated from one of the things that really set them apart. Because a lot of their focus when they first got started was allowing people to create maps, allowing people to, releasing their source code. Who did that? But they did. They released their source code to let other people have fun with it under the GPO where they couldn't resell it, whatever. And they created that ID Software kind of created a community, and that was the whole focus behind my article. And if you go and read it, please read it. I'm trying to shorten this up. But if there's one thing that I can say around ID Software was me and many of my friends during my beginning time as getting into games were evolved around creating maps, creating textures for maps, getting involved with mods. And I feel personally that ID Software has gotten away from that. Not entirely. You can still make maps, but you really can't make dedicated servers anymore. You can't. It's like they kind of turned their backs on the community. And
That's what it sounds like.
Well, I don't think they did it intentionally. I think it was kind of for a while, it was a good decision. Mm-hmm. Back in the day when we used to do mods and stuff, it was kind of the Wild West. At the time, especially with Quake, you had to use dial-up, and downloading mods was a pretty, you had to go find your mod. And if someone told you there was an update, you had to go to the website or Planet Quake and download the latest mod files and update your files. Or you connect to a server and find out, oh, I can't connect because it says there's a mismatch on the map file. Well, what's this? Oh, they must be using a newer or a different version of the map. And there's a lot of that, and I attribute to that was like the infancy of the internet and the infancy of PC gaming, and there is a lot of that Wild West, what I attribute to a Wild West feeling. I think nowadays we've gotten past that, but I don't feel anybody's embraced what made PC gaming really great. What made Quake and Doom really great. And that was the community, the mod community, the map community, the character model community. Yeah, there was some questionable stuff, but that just comes with the territory. And the one thing I would think that they should do is re-embrace that. And I really think that they should take a deep, hard look. And my thought was this: make an interface come out with Quake 5. Okay? You've already done Quake Champions. You've already done a few other ones. They've been on okay. I think Quake 5 should be a look back with an update and new modern look at what should be done. And
Amanda says, oh, sorry. Go ahead. Finish that and I'll read Amanda's comment.
Yeah. Wow, I'm noticing. I don't know if anybody else is noticing it, but we're lagging pretty bad here on the website. I don't know why. Are we up? No. I'm showing on mine. It's just my laptop. Anyway, so my idea was this, and this is also, we're getting more into the days of cross-play between consoles and PC. Why can't they have a unified interface and a unified language? Pick one language for the consoles and tell modders, hey, we're going to make an interface for our game. You have to make your mod available in our interface where people can just go into the interface and download it. This opens up console people to mods. Not only that, but you're going to get mod developers, people who make these mods, can decide for themselves, all right, we want to support this console, not this console, and PC. Or we only want to develop for console. Or we want to do for console and PC, and we want to enable crossplay. And I really think that's something that should be embraced. We're reaching that point, and I think the game developer needs to make an interface within the game itself where people can download maps, download texture packs, and download mods. We are at that time where that's kind of we can't do the Wild West way of thinking, but I think one thing we need to bring back is that community. That thing that's still, here's the thing, if you look back on Quake 2, those games are still very popular. Even Half-Life Source is very popular. The reason being, you have all those mods, those people I still go and play. Like I said, I run a Quake 2 coupon server to this day. I just updated it to the latest Quake 2 Pro server edition. I even keep an eye out to see if anybody's made a new map. There are people who've made maps not too long ago. There is still a thriving community for these old games.
Nice.
And the reason being is there's a mod community for it. And I really think that if someone wants to I really think the next Quake game should come back and embrace that. And they should make an interface that says, we're here for the community. Because here's the thing. If a friend sees someone playing a mod,
they're going to want to know.
They're going to want to play it.
Yeah.
Well, you have to go buy Quake 5. Or me and you can play on your console while I play on PC, and we can make this mod that it's like it opens up so many doors. And yes, not everything's going to work, right? But I do think it's something that's worth investing the time in.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I mean, I'm not one that played games like that, but one thing that I can't agree with is, you know, at the time that was really big. It was really cool. People did it, and I think a lot of people miss that. And you know, that's why that community is still out there. Mm-hmm. They just need to be paid attention to. They need to stop being ignored.
Well, I don't think they're being ignored. I think what's going on is ID Software got bought out by Bethesda, and they've kind of just changed their way of thinking. Mm-hmm. But as of now, I mean, you have Doom Eternal, which is a gorgeous game. I'm not a big fan of it because I keep saying this is an over-convoluted control system. But I really think that rather than trying to what I see ID Software doing lately is they're still chasing what everybody else was done. And one of the things they used to do so well was come up with new technology and new ways of doing things that were unique. That was what made them successful. Quake was the first 3D engine. Boom. Explosive. Quake 2 Quake 2 just progressed onto that, and the mod community went right to it.
Yeah.
Doom Eternal has no mods. There's really not much of a community because it's just tournament play. That's it. That's what you have, tournament play, deathmatch and tournament play. And yeah, there's a couple of gameplay modes, but I think, and the last Quake games we've got have all been Battle Royale, deathmatch. That's it. And it's just been, it's been bland. Put the spice back into it is all I'm asking. I think, you know, we got Quake Champions, which is good. And Quake Live was not good. And I really think that I think the next Quake game, we should get a sequel to Quake 4 and a decent, solid multiplayer and team deathmatch and capture the flag, but then also an entire kit out for the mod community and a complete interface system to access all of them within the game, where it's unified look and design between both PC, console. All of them have the same interface, and you just go, hey, I want to check out this mod.
Yeah.
I think we're at that point in time where it needs to happen. We're getting cross-play, so the push to go bring back the mod community, I think will help bring that forward. So,
yeah.
Dude, let's play Quake again. We should. We really should. All right. So that's what I want to talk about in the article. I want to expand on a little bit. If you need to go read it, tell me guys what you think. It's my first article in a long time. I've got some more that I'm working on, and I've got some work done on the the Liquor server. So I'll be I'm probably going to post up some little interval videos. I've got a bunch of stuff that's come in onto my Patreon account. So check it out there. All right. So one thing we're going to talk about: Sega has introduced in Japan. I believe it's Japan. It is called the Astro City Mini. It's supposed to launch by the end of 2020. It's a mini arcade cabinet.
It looks really cool.
Yeah, and you'll see the images rotating right here for those of y'all watching on YouTube. It's going to run about 12,800 yen, which is about $119. And as far as I can tell, it's going to be Japanese only. It's 1/6 scale, which is about 5 inches by almost 7 inches by almost 7 inches. You know, basically it's 13 centimeters by 17 centimeters by 17 centimeters. 29-inch screen. Oh, the original 20. It's basically going to be a 4.8-inch diagonal LCD.
Yep.
6 joystick and 6-button control. Will be at 1/8 scale, so the buttons are going to be a little bit smaller than what you're normally extended. So
1/2 scale.
1/2 scale. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
No problem.
And then I think it's going to be. The joystick's going to be an 8-way digital switch. They are announcing 10 games. They've already announced 10 games. It's supposed to have 36. Of the 10 they've announced so far, Alien Storm, Alien Syndrome, which is actually a good one, Altered Beast, classic, Columns 2, Dark Edge, Fantasy Zone, Golden Axe.
That's an old one. Well,
Golden Axe, Revenge of Death Adder, Tant R, and Virtua Fighter. And I figured Virtua Fighter had to be on there.
Yeah.
And what's cool is if you look in the back, it's got a USB port for power. It does have an HDMI port, which
would suggest that you can hook it up to a monitor.
You can hook it up. You can use it as a controller and plug it into your TV. There's another USB port they show on it, but we're not sure if that's going to stay.
Support HDMI output to a big screen TV. Mm-hmm. Yes, supports basic emulation functions like save states, attach. Yeah, that's cool. This thing looks like a really cool little toy.
Yeah, $120. I mean, but if you're going to be one of those people that tries to ship it to the States, it's probably going to be a bit pricey. A bit pricey. What I do like is how they made the bubble shape on the monitor to make it look like a tube.
Yeah,
much like the old. It's kind of I like the little
the
attention
old
to
school.
detail.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's micro USB power. Let me see here. It's going to have save states. Oh, they're supposed to have USB control pads for it too. I'm assuming to do multiplayer. Yeah, from what they said, it's going to be you'll be able to play up to 3 people on the same cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it looks really cool. I mean, the fact they're going to use USB controllers is nice. Micro USB for power, which is becoming pretty much standard.
Yeah.
It's a cool little cabinet. It's a tiny little guy.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Know what this reminds me of? Remember when we were kids, they had those little mini arcades you could get, but they were only like one game?
Yep. You could get Pac-Man or
That's
whatever.
exactly the size of it. That's what I wanted to look at. I was like, those were so... Actually, this one looks a little bit... Because the other ones were a little bit deeper, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they were.
But these... And they didn't need to be. They just made them big to make them big.
Yeah.
You know.
I like Amanda says, yeah, definitely going for that retro feel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, you guys want to keep an eye on them. That is the Sega Astro Mini. Yeah, Sega Astro Mini.
Yeah, the Japanese Astro...
It's supposed to be out at the end of this year. Astro City.
Astro City Mini will sport 36 games. Yep, yeah.
36 games, and it's supposed to be out at the end of this year. So, of course, Christmas time is what they're shooting for.
Absolutely.
All right, moving on. So this was a big one. Everybody, I need everybody to listen very, very closely. This is going on to TikTok. Delete it. Get it off your mobile devices. I don't care how many friends you have on it. You do not want TikTok on your mobile devices. There are many reasons. First off, let's talk about we're going to talk about many things. The fact that the U.S. is contemplating, the current administration is debating on banning it in the United States.
Sounds like it would be a good idea.
It could be.
if the worries are true.
Well, here's the one thing. Or this was your copy, but I don't think you grabbed it. Back in December 23rd of 2019, it was reported that the U.S. Navy had banned TikTok on all service members' devices. Mm-hmm. You could not have it. It was not allowed. The reason being is that at that point, it was considered a security threat. And here's why. One, and it's kind of this weird thing. It's owned by an American, but it's technically a Chinese company. It's one of those. And even though they are, you'll read in the news, and he's clearly, they keep saying, no, we keep things separate, stuff like that. There's one problem. There is somebody that posted online. Let me pull it up. let's see. They wanted ban. All right, here we go. So somebody reverse engineered much of the TikTok app. And what they found was pretty scary. And there's actually a YouTube video out there, someone going through it. And basically what they found is that app is a thinly veiled social media app. What it is a data gathering application.
Okay.
So the one person, they posted on Reddit, you can go look this up, Banger Gold or something like that. TikTok reversing. Reddit.com/r/TikTok_reversing is where you can go and take a look at it. Some of the stuff they're doing. One thing that the data they're collecting, one, phone hardware, which includes hardware IDs, screen dimensions, DPI, memory usage, disk space, etc. Other apps you have installed. That information is being passed on to the app is pulling. They've basically seen some I've deleted show up in analytics payload, maybe using its cached value. Everything network related. It uploads your IP, local IP, router MAC, your MAC, Wi-Fi access point name. Whether or not you are rooted or jailbroken, it sends that data. Some variants of the app have GPS pinging enabled at the time, roughly once every 30 seconds. This is enabled by default if you ever location tag a post. So if you do that, it's pinging whether as soon as you have the app open and you do location tagging, it is now reporting your location every 30 seconds.
Wow.
They set up a local proxy server on your device for transcoding media, but that can be abused very easily as a zero authentication. They weren't using HTTPS for the longest time. It was using standard non-encrypted connections, uploading your user information. Not only that, but in the YouTube video, they had their phone posted, and then they also had a logger next to it, monitoring what commands were going across. And one of the things they showed was someone would copy data, and then they would go and paste it. Well, when you copy it, that's one command, and then when you paste it, it's a different command. When you copy it, uploads it to in Windows what we would call the why I'm now drawing a blank on that. Anyway, you copy it, it goes to
the clipboard.
Clipboard, thank you.
Yep.
Goes to your clipboard, and then there's another command to pull it from the clipboard down to your device. On iOS, it's called something totally different. But needless to say, there is a command for both. So they showed that they copied a bit of some text, and it showed the command it happening. Then they went to a text file and pasted it, and it showed the command that happened. They opened up another app. App loaded, that's it. They closed that app, nothing happened. Opened the app again, pasted, oh look, there's the paste command. Didn't do it until he actually did it. Now he closed that app. Open TikTok, paste command happened.
Wow.
As soon as you open the app, it is taking the data out of your clipboard and sending it. And if you happen to copy of anything of importance, guess what?
It has it.
That just got sent off to their servers. Now, I know they're trying to deny it, but why is their app doing it is the question.
Yeah.
And that is not something that just happens. That has to be programmed in. That's not something that, we accidentally. No, somebody programmed that in.
Yeah. Somebody was looking for a way to get information, it sounds like.
It is.
Yeah.
It's the whole point. Nobody offers a free service and they're going to pay for all the servers for nothing. No, they're getting their money somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And
now, Amanda asked a question. If you delete it, does it still keep your info?
Yes, because once they upload that information to the server, it's theirs to
do what they want with.
To do it. You can send requests to have them delete it, but they probably never will. And the problem is this is a Chinese-owned company, So, and this goes into another thing. If you guys are curious about how the Chinese government works, and go look this up. Please do. Don't take my word on this. Go and look at this. There is now an article that came out today, and I don't know. Well, I chucked my phone, so I can't read it to you. That the Chinese government requires, if you're doing payments to the banking system, you have to run this specific app. They have found out that that app is malware and gives them root level access to install other things without your knowledge.
Wow.
And gives them direct access. Literally, it gives them access to whatever it's installed on, and they require it of all businesses to use that app.
Wow.
And if you're an American company dealing with China, you're required as well. So yeah, that's another one. If you're ever, you got to remember, it's a communist country. That's just their way of thinking. And so my thing is this: everything that I've seen, I don't jump on the bandwagons ever. Yeah, I try not to anyway, unless it's new hardware, and then I'm a gullible idiot. But that's beside the point. We're talking about TikTok here, and yeah, my advice to anybody: delete it, remove it. If you know family members that have it, have them delete it too.
Now, Amanda just asked a question. Mm-hmm. Well, she says, I don't have it, but I know a lot who do. Doesn't the Chinese versions of Facebook do the same thing? Didn't they have their real-life version of Black Mirror with that app rating service?
They do, but here's the thing. Facebook has their own dedicated servers in China. So yes, that this is what you're talking about is Facebook has a set of rules and their own servers in China to do Facebook, and then they have their own servers here in the United States.
Okay.
This is a company that operates out of China, and all people have reversed engineered, and Facebook only, as far as we're aware, and what most researchers have looked and dug into, nobody has found anything of this level with Facebook or any of the other apps. This is right now. With everybody looking, TikTok is the worst culprit of them all right now. Facebook does work with advertisers with the information you give them. And I'm on the fence of, if you're going to post it, you're giving them permission. But this is TikTok taking information from your phone without your permission. That's wrong. Mm-hmm. One, you're giving consent. This one is, they're not even asking consent. They're just taking. And as far as I'm concerned, that's a major issue. And that's one of the reasons I will not run TikTok, or there's another one too, but I do not run them by any of that company because it is way too shady.
So Amanda also asks, would they only allow certain services and privileges based on their rating?
You'd have to elaborate on that. Typically, the problem is certain commands on your phone can be executed by any software. I know Google or iOS is working to change that. Google is, I don't know what they're working on, but Apple has already indicated that they're going to be doing an update to help address some of this. But just so if a program tries to access your your copyboard or the clipboard or whatever it is, that it notifies you. And I don't know if they're going to add any restrictions, but as far as I'm concerned, TikTok's just questionable. Facebook, like I said, Facebook only cares about the information you give them, and people get upset with Facebook and they're selling information. Well, they're only selling the information you gave them,
right?
And in the terms of agreement, you've already agreed to that. Mm-hmm. You can't go, I'm on Facebook, I'm going to ignore the terms of service, and I'm going to try right now. When you signed in, you were agreeing to their terms, and they're going to change their terms. If you don't like their terms, get off the site. As far as I'm concerned, as long as I don't post it, I don't care. And I never, ever, ever, Facebook Messenger asked if I want to, give me access to your phone, your contact list. No. You're not. I don't want you having my friends' phone numbers. And I am very upset if any of my friends do that to me. That's also why I don't give my phone number out to a lot of people, because now that's how people get spammed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people, use your head. Just because it sounds convenient doesn't mean it's smart.
Right. So we had a comment by Crazy Iris about just a little bit ago. I apologize, Iris. It passed by. I didn't see it. He said she said never downloaded it, but coworkers all had it, and they wanted to smack them.
Do it, smack it. Okay, I know you, and just like you don't even. I'm not even telling you the soft meaty part. You can use the sharper tips of your fingertips
to get that sting.
I think we're all. Yeah, we leave some marks so they're aware of their stupidity, and
Give
I'm
them
gonna
a
call
tattoo.
it that. But tell them that it has been proven that TikTok takes information off their phone without their permission. And they've been doing it for a while. And tell them the government's looking at banning it. The Navy, or pretty much all the armed forces, are going, you're not allowed. If you're a serviceman, you cannot have this on your phone. So
Yeah, because they pass a lot of sensitive information through that
they
way.
do.
So,
They
yeah.
don't want a lot of pictures of military bases being put out there to a foreign country.
Mm-hmm.
So, now, as the point of do I like the idea of them banning TikTok? I'm on the fence about it. Part of me wants to say yes because I think they're really, really shady, but another part of me is like, we shouldn't be telling people what they can and can't do. But there is a point of...
I think depending... Go ahead.
Well, my thought is this. Most people aren't educated enough to look, and if the government goes, look, this is posing a threat, we've known about it for a year, and the company's not changing their ways, so we're going to ban you. A lot of people are going to get upset, but in the end, it's still... The safety of the country, especially our servicemen, not realizing and posting pictures, and a foreign country going, oh, that's what they have on their base right now. That's what they have on these bases. And that's what we got to worry about, too.
All right. So Amanda says it's a social credit system that they are implementing. If they run out of points, they get blacklisted and have begun to restrict travel. I read that article a while back. Oh, going back to their rating.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. And Crazy Iris said, I wish, but definitely going to tell them. Doubt they will listen, but at least I warn them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All you can do is throw a warning at them.
Like I said, I tell
people... Can't
do
much more than that.
I tell people, like, hey, you got TikTok? Nope, it's a security risk, and they copy your information, and I strongly advise, and they kind of look at me confused, but all my friends are running. I don't care. I'm not, if you guys know me, I don't do what everybody else does. I kind of...
do my own thing.
Yeah, I do my own thing, and I try to do things with intelligence and happy juice. I really needed that tonight too. All right, I think it's Cave Jam time.
It is Cave Jam
I think we've got kind of
done.
All right, Cave Jam. I am doing something a little bit different tonight. Actually, not really. You guys have seen this before. I know at least you guys checked out my videos before. I have used this kit before. I did have a problem one time, but I am going with this. This one's mine. This is going in my... I bought this for myself. I bought this for WinHell, or WinHell 2. I need to do an update video on that. The original WinHell with the dual Xeons is now becoming the Liquor server. And current WinHell is sitting in a dark case with no lighting. And after I got used to all the wonderful, pretty blue lighting in WinHell, my Ryzen 1800 WinHell is lacking some lighting, so I got some Corsair Lighting Node Pro.
Nice.
And yep, we got the link. If you look on the last picture, is the last build I did with these, and that was the Blood Red build. And that was a buddy of mine, Victor. We built a computer for one of his sons. And he wanted, it was a full liquid cooled build, and we used blood red liquid what was it, the liquid cooling die, and we also went with red LEDs inside. That look right there.
That looks amazing.
It was a beautiful build.
I mean, that's an awesome visual right
And
there.
the hard part was I did a slight slow in and fade out. And here's another reason why I did this. One, these are all individual RGB addressable RGB, so each LED can be a different color. It comes with a very, very easy to use software. It comes with the Corsair IQ software.
I need to get into doing stuff like this.
Oh, I love doing stuff like this.
And of course, I'd never get my youngest son off my computer then.
True. The nice thing, and the main reason I did that was, one, I also bought the IQ RAM, so I got Blinky Lights RAM too. Bite me. And so yeah, I'm going full RGB. When I bought the current build from my buddy Victor, he also had a Corsair all-in-one liquid cooling loop water block radiator combo kit. So that's got LEDs on it, and that runs off the IQ software. I love the mouse I have, which is the Corsair mouse, and the RGB on that is controlled by the software. So I figure if I'm going to expand on the kits, I'm going to stick with the Corsair.
Right.
Because the last thing I want is 3 or 4 different pieces of software or a remote control to do one thing and never getting things to time up. With the Corsair software, I can make it all work. And I have one piece of software to hop in and out of.
Ray and I. Ray is all about control like that. I'm more chaotic. I like different things happening.
Well,
I find solace in it.
My thing was I've done the whole RGB lighting with different controllers or motherboard software.
True, and I have not. So I have things I have to learn, and you're like, yes, no.
It's
Go
not
make your
as much fun. I'm
mistakes,
going to open this
Grasshopper.
up for you guys. So the kit's really simple. It comes really nice. Comes packaged really nice.
It does.
You get
it looks like it.
4 LED strips.
Nice.
Your power, or it runs off the SATA power, and this is the controller, so the LEDs plug into here, and there's a USB port that comes off and plugs in the USB header on your case. So it's all controlled by USB.
Nice.
You get power from the power supply, and that's what powers the LEDs. Even though, and that's kind of weird, like they give you all these RGBs, but you don't need this much power, but they do it just in case. That way you're not pulling an insane amount off the USB. It comes with the software you download from online. You come extension cables, adapters if you want to adapt it into other things. It's a really well-made, put-together kit. The nice thing is if this isn't enough, these 4 strips are not enough, they sell an expander kit with 4 more that will plug directly into this. So you can have, I believe, up to 8 strips. But from what I've seen, 4 has been plenty. And if you guys know, I'm not one of those people where I want to see the LEDs. I just want the LEDs to make the case glow.
Right.
I just want to see the effect, the light. So that's going to be it. And I'm going to try to do a video. I may do it tomorrow night. That's my current plan, but we'll see how things go. But tomorrow night, I plan on installing my new RAM and installing my new lighting kit and installing my power supply. I still haven't installed the power supply in WinHub.
Now, I have a question.
I have an answer.
This is straight from the beard.
Yes, beard.
Could you run this off of, let's say, a laptop?
No.
It has to be in a desktop.
Well, okay, you can get an adapter cable to do that, but here's the thing: you've got this controller here. The problem is okay. Here's the thing: there's not much space in a laptop. Laptops are designed with minimal space.
Well, no. Okay, let me make my question really clear.
Like, could you plug it in to test it?
Like, could I put the lights on the outside, like on the back of the monitor, so that when it's on, the lights run?
Yes, you could. In theory, you could. Here's the thing, though: you've got this controller here,
right?
That you've got to place somewhere. You've got the wires and all the LEDs. And on a laptop that's already pretty thin, everything's going to be stuck to the outside of the case. Technically, yes, you could do it very easily. Will it be...
Crazy Iris just asked, but you still can decorate it. I think Crazy Iris knows where I'm going with this.
Yes.
See, I'm talking about making like,
I will say this,
being ridiculous with it.
Yeah. Technically, yes, you could. The only thing you would have to do is the kit. When it comes with a kit, it has a motherboard header USB cable, but it is just mini USB, so you can get a standard USB to mini USB adapter to plug this adapter into your laptop. But it would eat up one of your USB ports to do it.
Got you. Okay.
And it would be stuck out the side. Technically, yes. I wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't. Yeah, but see, I'm not audio crazy. I'm a completely different animal. So,
but that's the thing.
See, Crazy Irish just said it. Buy like 4 sets and just cover your PC or laptop. Exactly.
Yeah, you could.
Just have it ridiculously. You
buy one set and a couple expanders.
Perfect.
And technically, here's the thing: they give you enough jumpers. No joke. If you wanted to run off the same loop, the ones in your case, and have a wire come out the case somewhere, make it long enough, like 2 jumpers, and then tag some on the back of your monitors, and all controlled by the one interface, yes, you could do that.
There are going to be lights. Amanda says, rainbow computer.
Yep, exactly. No rainbow. We are not doing Rainbow Bright Pre-K. It will do that. It'll be doing the rainbow colors by default. I don't like leaving it that way. It drives me nuts. I'm going to have a blue effect in my case because everything I do is blue. I'm still debating but I do want to do blue on the liquor server. That's still sitting here. I want to
give you some red light back there just because you said that.
Hey.
We're going back to the TikTok conversation.
But yeah, here you go. The Corsair IQ. It's $65 currently. They usually get down. They're usually right around $60. I think it's like $5 up more than what it used to be, which is fine. When they were on sale during Christmas times, I think you could find them for like $45. So the pricing's not bad on these. Like I said, it's not really expensive, and it's a really easy way of putting lighting in. And it comes with everything. It comes with adhesive to stick them wherever you need to stick them. It comes with all the extension cables you need, the controller, and the software you just download from the website. It's like a complete ready-to-go kit. And all you do is you tell it, hey, this is how I got them plugged in.
Iris, I would put pink lights behind them, but I don't think I have pink. I don't think I can do pink. I can only do...
Crazy Iris, I know. Why? She has got a thing for pink. I'm just saying, everything's got to be pink.
There's nothing wrong with pink.
Tony! Long time. Tony Sosa hopped in, says hello all. How you doing, Tony?
How are you, Tony? If I know you, I apologize. I don't remember you. If I don't know you, I'm happy to meet you.
Tony is somebody that I used to work with. There used to be a computer store here in town called, and many people who worked in LA and a few other places, it was a small chain called PC Club.
I've heard of it.
And that's where me and him met. Me and him used to drive each other crazy. And he now works, him and another guy that used to work at PC Club work together. Or nice. He works for Tris Technology. And I work in radio. And I do a silly show where I act like an idiot. So.
What do you mean you act?
True.
PC Club alumni, 1999 to 2001, Tony says. Yep. Also says doing great. How about you?
Oh, yeah. Tony, I missed you, man. Glad to see you. One of these days we're going to get together. Maybe we'll do it. Maybe we can get together and do a Quake 2 night. Tony, talk to Frost and see if he wants to play some. Maybe we can hop on a Counter-Strike server because those are still heavily active right now. And yeah.
Uh-oh.
He's not allowed to have an op though. He's a jerk with an op. Tony knows what I'm talking about. He's just as dangerous with a friggin' beagle.
Stories. Tony, you got to reach out to me. Tell me some stories. Give me some dirt. Give me some juice. Give me something.
Okay,
I'll bring it on the show.
If you guys want to know what it was like to put up with me, my ex had come in, and I'm reading a magazine. At that time, I can't remember what it was. It was like the 8400 graphics card, or we were still in the 100, the 100 series. We hadn't even got to the 8000 series graphics card. Back when NVIDIA was doing 4 digits instead of 3, and then they've gone back to 4, whatever. and the latest article was sitting there, and everybody's looking at me, and they're like, "What are you reading?" And I'm reading it, and I'm drooling, and I'm like, "The latest graphics card?" And they're like, "Do you need a moment?" I go, "Yes, I'm going to go to the bathroom now." And I walk into the bathroom with the magazine, just to, yeah.
This is not
Dude,
surprising.
sweet. I do. The Legend of Ray versus the Sanyo Denki. Actually, I've told this story many, many times. Those of you guys don't know the story of these Ray versus the Sanyo Denki, and this is where I fell in love with it. The Sanyo Denki was we should flip off the cave. We're done with the cave, Jim.
Oh,
so
yeah.
We're doing a little story.
I got into the show here. I got into the story. I was like, yes.
So the Sanyo Denki was
on the edge of my seat here, folks.
Was a very high-end server fan. This was back whenever we needed some really high-dollar, high-quality fans, and this was pre-Noctua. And quiet wasn't a big thing. We just wanted a lot of frickin' CFM. That's all we cared about. At the server, most computers were allowed anyway. We were still getting over the slot 1 vacuum cleaners and the AMD K8
I'm sorry.
heat radiators.
Sorry. Tony just commented, "Gather around, kids, story time." Crazy Iris got the popcorn emoji. This is perfect.
So
I'm
we get
loving
the
this.
first Sanyo Denki in, and we plug it in, and it sounds like a vacuum cleaner. And we're all like, "This is awesome! Feel the air!" And I was like, "Oh yeah, the fans really." This is me here. All right.
Get ready,
this is me
folks.
here.
This is
so
where
this
it
is really
comes in.
cool. So the fan, because it's spinning at such a high rate, and I try to turn it like this. And you ever try to grab and move it like a gyro, something that's moving at high? It's already holding it. It's already creating its own centrifugal force and everything. I grab it and it starts sliding it. So of course, what do? Try to grab it like this. So I go in there, mind you, my finger goes into the blade. It nails me 3 times. One blade, first cut, second cut, third cut takes a massive chunk. Not clean off, just a good chunk off. The blade didn't ever fully come to a stop. The fan slowed down a bit due to the chunks on my finger, but didn't. And I bled profusely. I had to go and wrap up my finger. I had, 3 good slices on my finger. I fell in love with the fan that day.
So you have something in common with my wife right now.
Why's that?
Because she just had to be taken to the emergency room for slicing the tip of her finger almost completely off.
What'd you do that for?
She was cutting a cucumber with a mandolin in the kitchen.
But yes, I tried to grab a fan instinctively, but then shoved my finger into the fan blades. It sliced my finger quite a bit, and I fell in love with it because it did such a good slicing job. And we all fell in love with that fan. That was just...
This is why I worry when he fondles the equipment in the studio.
Yeah, Tony Sosa. Back then, if your PC didn't sound like a data center, you a scrub. Exactly. It took me years of finally accepting having quiet fans. It's bad. It's like now I'm picking out fans that are dead quiet and have a 24/7 rating and server rating, and everybody's looking at me like, but they don't have RGB, and I'm like, I must have gotten older.
Amanda, when you come back to the studio, you have to help me keep an eye on him when he starts getting crazy with the, equipment, the hardware, because you never know.
Tony Sosa goes, I was 3 rows over putting up stock. I heard a loud buzz sound followed by a stream of blood flying through the air.
I wish there's video of this.
I
wish there was
I know there
video.
were security cameras, but they never kept them. But that was the day I fell in love with a fan. A heartwarming story of a fan that tried to bite my finger off, and I loved it for it. I'm a glutton for abuse.
Tony says that you said, "Ooh, I like this fan."
That's my exact words. I'm bleeding. I didn't even like go and cover up. I'm dripping onto the counter and going, "Ooh, I love this fan." And they're like, "Dude, you need to go cover that up." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Amanda says, "When fans attack."
It was a love bite. It didn't attack. It was a love bite.
Yeah, you can't call it an attack. Ray was. Never mind. Anyway.
And that's how, if you get me around technology, this is what you get. I mean, I'm going to try to get the build done tomorrow night. I was hoping to do it with my daughter, but that didn't quite happen. But I am going to try to get my daughter involved with the liquor server. Tony, I need to talk to you. I've got some questions. I may need some help on getting some stuff. I don't know if you saw the video of the liquor server, but this project is really starting to take shape, and I figured out the hard drive mounting. I figured out a way to get that done, and I was going to show you something on that, but I also need help on some other parts that if you've got some stuff in the scrap bin. So I'm going to hit you up on that stuff. We need to hit on one more thing, because where are we at on time?
We got about 10 minutes.
Okay, 10 minutes. Geez, we're going to run over tonight because I don't care.
Of course we are. But Tony says, next thing you know, between me and Ray and Frost, we depleted the Sanyo Denki inventory.
We did.
What is that?
They would order in Sanyo Denkies, and we would buy them all. And they were cheap. Okay, put it to you this way. Back in the day, back at that time, the average fan was like $5. These were what, like $20-$30 a fan?
Oh,
These were server grade, rated for 24/7 operation fans, and we were like, "Can we have some more, please? We're out of fans. You got them in your case, but we need more."
All right.
So, all right, we're gonna run over this, and I don't care because we got story time. And all right, Star Wars, Disney Plus. Disney has announced the Bad Batch series is coming next year.
I'm looking forward to this, actually.
Oh,
and I haven't... I'm going to be honest. Hang on. I'm going to be honest, and I'm probably going to lose a lot of points for this. But I haven't really watched any of the animated Star Wars stories.
Oh, you got to watch it.
I haven't, but I think I need to.
If you want to see the Bad Batch, all you got to do is watch the 7th season, which, hands down, is the best season out of them all. I would highly recommend. I'm going back through. I'm almost done with season 1, and I'm working through the rest of them. I'm going back through and watching all the seasons over again because I've already watched season 7, and I want to go back. The Bad Batch was introduced, and actually what had happened was they had created the Bad Batch story arc, the first episode, before they shut down when they had shut down the Clone Wars, because there was a several-year gap before they did season 7. They had shut it down.
Yeah, I remember there being a
so
gap
much
between
fanfare over it. So what work they got done on it, they released it, and then when they announced they were going to do season 7, they added it back in and finished the 4-story arc.
Gotcha. Okay. Amanda says, "Bad Batch. Give Dave Filoni all the good things." And she told me where it is, and I need to get to it.
Yeah, it is. So if those of you guys don't know, the Bad Batch, I'm going to pull up my notes here, because if I get this wrong,
it's okay,
I will get
Amanda.
yelled at.
You're forgiven. People get excited. I understand.
Those of you guys don't know who the Bad Batch is. They are a bunch of clone troopers. They are from Clone Force 99. They were experimental batch. I think it was experimental batch 99.
That gained desirable mutations.
Yes, they were trying to augment the recipe, is the best way to put it, to get desirable mutations, and they technically were undesirable clones with desirable mutations. I think that's what the wording was, and they're a little bit more. They're less militant, less. They're not as clone trooper as the rest of them. They're kind of their own little strike force, but they're one of those groups that that have 100% success rate on whatever missions they go on.
I gotta be honest, and when I watched the trailer for the Bad Batch and
the clips I showed you,
the clips that Ray showed me, I was very reminded of like the Vault Hunters.
Uh-huh.
And so I mean they seem like true badasses. So I'm like, yes, I got to check.
They're
these guys out.
you really didn't get much of their characters because each one's very, very unique. And rather than you have clone troopers that are all the same, each one of these has a very, very specialized skill set, and they all work together very, very well as a team. But they're very much characters, and
that's exactly what it seemed like when I saw it. I mean, I only saw like a 2, maybe 3 minute clip, but you could see that each character had his own flair. Yeah. And it honestly piqued my curiosity. So I'm going to be checking out some animated Star Wars stories.
Yeah, and they're not highly they're kind of they gave themselves the nickname the Bad Batch. And it's kind of that really cool. It's kind of funny that they would give themselves that, but it's kind of how they set themselves apart from the other clone troopers.
Yeah.
But if you watch, like I said, watch the 7th season of the Clone Wars. They're absolutely great. From what I understand, let's see here. Disney, their announcement was giving new and existing fans the final chapter of Star Wars: The Clone Wars has been an honor at Disney Plus, and we are overjoyed by the global response to this landmark series. Agnes Chu said, she's vice president of content at Disney Plus. While the Clone Wars may have come to its conclusion, our partnership with the groundbreaking storytellers and artists at Lucasfilm Animation is only beginning. We are thrilled to bring Dave Filoni's vision to life through the next adventures of the Bad Batch. From what I read in some places, that this is going to be post-Clone War. They're going to be taking on daring mercenary missions as they struggle to stay afloat and find new purpose. So it's not... here's a few things I was curious. One, if they're Bad Batch, did they get the inhibitor chip? Because if they did, then that means they're part of the Imperial armor. But if they didn't get the inhibitor chip, they may not even be... they may have just become their own little mercenary army, decide to become guns for hire. They may...
that wouldn't surprise me. Just based on the little bit that I saw that you showed me,
yeah,
I could definitely see that.
Yeah. Because they're very much independent thinkers and they don't do things of the norm. So...
Now, see, Amanda's got a couple of comments I'm going to read here real quick. She says, Dave Filoni, she's talking about the director, Dave Filoni. He directed both Clone Wars and Rebels. Mm-hmm. He's one of the better things to happen to Star Wars, in her opinion. Maybe more people's opinion. I don't know. I'm unfamiliar with the franchise in that aspect. And he directed episodes of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yes. Now,
her last comment is regarding what you said they might have, but they are smart. Maybe they figured out how to remove it. Regarding the chip, I think.
I have a feeling that being as they were...
rejects?
Possibly. Or maybe that they got the inhibitor chips, but they didn't work on them. Being as, they were undesirables with desirable traits. Who knows? We really don't know. Maybe
I personally can't wait to find out the story behind these guys.
And here's what I want to know, because there was what I showed you was the base team of the Bad Batch. There was another one during season 7 that was added in, and that was a clone trooper that had been captured and was basically, he got augmented with a lot of robotic prosthetics. To interface him into a computer system, and they were actually using him to create how to figure out what tactics and stuff were we using. Eventually, the Bad Batch and what's his name, Rex, rescued him, and because he was so augmented, he became a member, or he left with the Bad Batch. I'm hoping he's still with them, because I think that would add a new dynamic to him.
Now, Tony just said that he's pretty hyped for this Bad Batch story.
Yes.
Now, based on what you just said, and again, please forgive me. I'm not familiar with the animated storyline. Well, I'm not very familiar with it. I watched a few episodes here and there. One of my sons watched it. You said he was given what now? Robotic.
Basically, what happened was he was captured.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was an explosion or something happened. I think what happened was they gave him robotic limbs, robotic legs, robotic arms. He didn't even have a hand for one of them. It was an interface, kind of like what R2-D2 had to interface with. That kind
the little thing that popped out and he could plug into computers and whatever.
One of his hands was one of those.
Gotcha. Okay.
And he had cybernetics in his head. And actually, what happened was he was wired into a computer system and used to help figure out tactics and troop movements and stuff like that.
Okay.
What happened was I believe it was Rex that kind of figured out, no, this is my old buddy, this is my old pal, and we need to go rescue him. We believe that that's how they're getting this information. And once they took it, it was what was it? I'm forgetting the race that had him. It was funny. They made a huge funny video about them. But poor Fives. He was a whistleblower for finding out the chips. Yeah, but only a few of them was able to get them removed.
Maybe it was the Bad Batch.
That's the thing. I know the one trooper. Now, here's the thing. What's his name? I'm almost certain. What's his name with the cybernetics? And I can't remember his name. I'm drawing a blank. I need to drink more.
But what I was saying is that guy, the one that you talk about that got the cybernetics, he kind of, for some reason, based on what you're saying and based on the little bit that I remember, he reminds me kind of, I'm seeing some similarities between like General Grievous, I believe was his name.
No. General Grievous was head of the
separatist
army.
Yeah,
the robots. They were two completely separate people.
Okay. I know they were different. I'm just saying there were some. It seemed
Season 7, where the Bad Batch is introduced, is towards the end, right before Order 66, right as they're defeating General Grievous and everybody else.
Okay, and Amanda just said the Kaminoans. I guess that's the name of the race that you were talking about.
Kaminoans, yes, thank you.
And then she also said Grievous knowingly did that to his body, which I guess would be the big.
Yes and no. He was kind of persuaded into it after the accident and after much of his body being destroyed. But they kind of did. It's hard to say that he was into it because he also hated the fact that it was it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of why Sidious and
it was Dooku, wasn't it?
Dooku,
yeah,
was so into it because they know he wouldn't be into it, and being in charge of a all robot army was also an irritation. That's why so many robots got destroyed by his own hand, because he just beat the crap out of them.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
Yeah, he was persuaded. It was kind of this will be a better for you, and he didn't like it, but he was convinced the alternative wasn't any better.
Yeah. Okay.
And so he was literally just down to face, heart, like basic
and lungs,
organs,
wasn't it?
And yeah, there was not much left of him that was organic. He was primarily machine by the time they were done with him.
Okay.
They were basically, there wasn't much parts left. He was mostly recycle bin.
He's more machine than man.
Yeah, he was a warrior in his own race, Amanda Duke says, but he wanted to continue that path. Yeah.
Okay.
And he had he blamed the Jedi for what happened to him, and so him taking on this was a way to keep fighting against the Jedi, and that's also why he joined up with
the Separatists.
With Count Dooku and Lord Sidious.
Gotcha.
Plus, he was enjoying the fact of killing Jedi and taking their lightsaber. He was a collector. He didn't take just. If you saw, there was one episode in like early in the Clone Wars, they raided his place and his I forget what it is, not his castle, but whatever it is. And he had a lot of collections of like hair, like the hair braids. He had those beads. Like he collected stuff, but the main thing he liked collecting was once he killed a Jedi, he wanted their lightsaber. And he wanted to use those lightsabers against other Jedi. Like he was angry. He had anger issues.
We're not familiar with that, are we?
But yeah, no. But that was the other thing. Like he kept the cough, even though he technically he didn't need to cough. It was kind of one of those things that just he coughed still.
Yeah.
It's just yeah. It's kind of. But like I said, definitely watch the Clone Wars. It is absolutely great. The first season started off a lot of stories going back and forth, but it leads up to the final 7th season, and the 7th season is as perfect as we can get it. And it really leads into, I really love the arc that they helped build up for Ahsoka. Now we've got the Bad Batch they're working on, which I think is absolutely brilliant. It's a new thing that they can go with. We're really getting a lot more Star Wars content that is not involved with the Star Wars line, and I'm really thankful for that.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
On the tail of that, considering we are, talking about the Star Wars universe right now,
Mm-hmm.
I am going to take a moment. I forgot to say something about this at the beginning of the show, or even before you. Those of you that are familiar with Grant Imahara, he was on the show Mythbusters.
Yes.
He was also he controlled R2-D2 in the prequels.
Mm-hmm.
He has just recently passed away of a brain aneurysm. So
At 47, right?
49.
49, thank you.
Yeah. But I wanted to take a moment here, after we got through that, just to take a moment and, wish his survivors, a little bit of peace. Sorry that, the world lost someone of his caliber. But
he was immensely talented.
Yeah, he was great. I was a fan of his on Mythbusters. I never got a chance to watch the other show that he went on to after that, the White Rabbit Project, I believe it was called.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just thought, considering we were on the Star Wars topic, and that was something that was it was
definitely
a big loss to that franchise, in my opinion. So yeah.
So, yeah, to his family and friends, deeply saddened by your loss.
Our deep condolences, yeah.
I wish you guys the best. I know he touched a lot of people. I did see Mr. Savage. Who was it?
Adam Savage.
Adam Savage. I saw his post about it, and I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
I honestly have not seen anything from him. I have not seen anything, but then I'm not much of a... I really don't watch a whole lot of TV.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen much of this project since. So my knowledge of him, my memory of him is from
Mythbusters. Yeah.
So we've lost a great mind.
Yeah.
We lost we're all of a loss of a great person. So my heart reached out to his family and friends. So
Absolutely.
anyway, let's see, what else do we got? I hate to end it on a sad note.
Yeah, I apologize for that,
no,
folks. It honestly just struck me, but I thought we were really, talking about the Star Wars universe, and I thought it was something that deserved a mention. So
Definitely. So, on that note, I'll raise a let's say we raise a toast to him.
I unfortunately have an empty glass, but
Well, I got a little bit left, so Grant Mahara,
to Mr. Imahara, may he rest in peace.
rest in peace.
May the Force be with him.
On that note, I'm going to say goodnight to everybody. We love you guys. We thank you very much for joining us every week. Check us out on the website, AudioCraZ.com. If you guys are on Facebook or any of the social medias, on Facebook, facebook.com/NerdCaveShow. From there, you can find the Facebook group. Do a search for it, Nerd Cave Dwellers. NerdCaveShow.com has links to the most stuff. You can go to AudioCraZ.com and find all the social medias for both me and Gary. or me and the beard, or beard and AudioCraZ, or however you want to say it. I don't care. I think the last little drop went down quite well.
Yes.
And you guys are absolutely amazing. With everything going on, this is literally the highlight of our weeks. We come in and we get to have fun with you guys, talk about stuff that interests us, hear your guys' comments. So till next week, you guys be safe out there. Keep your family safe, and we hope to see you guys next week.
Thank you all for joining us. Have a wonderful night, and we will see you next week, folks. Nothing but love for you.
Night.